All right, this is Uncle Matt's training video number 1 on clothes to wear when walking or running outdoors. Um, Very important, actually essential. There are no elements, except for rain, in my opinion, that preclude you from going out and working out and feeling very comfortable. However, the gear that you use is extremely important. So here we go. I laid out a few things here. And honestly, I have to say, everybody asks me, how the heck do you go out and run in that cold weather? Today, I think it was under 10 degrees. And the answer is the equipment. And it's actually will probably be very surprising, the equipment. I've tried everything from the very expensive Gore-Tex stuff, but have come to the conclusion exactly what works for me, and I'm going to share those tips with you. Maybe you're the same, maybe you're not, but here we go. So your jacket, the key to your jacket is actually not that it be thick, that it actually be extremely thin. So I got a couple examples here. Here I got two. This is something that you can get literally from I would say Kmart or Walmart. Walmart, I think, sells a starter brand. So this is an expensive one. This is a cheap one. Honestly, same effect. The key is that it be a windbreaker. So if you notice this is a jacket that is ultra thin, but the key is that it's a windbreaker. And the other important factor is that it has some breathability. This here has some vents here underneath the armpits. So this is the one I use. This is one that you can get at at Walmart. It doesn't have vents. I believe they do sell some that do have vents. Some of them will have a bit of a lining, and a bit of a lining is fine. I actually find that the less lining that you have, the better, because you're gonna layer up. So here's the second thing. So that's layer 1 on the outside. Layer 2. This I found at Goodwill. It is my most prized possession, running possession, without a doubt, most important. This thing right here allows me, it's a fleece vest. It's actually a Nike golf vest. But the special thing about this vest is it's fleece and it's got no collar, so it fits comfortably underneath something like this, right? I don't find stuff with collars very comfortable, and certainly if you're wearing it underneath, you don't want it. This also it's got this little thin lining of, some microfabric or whatever, but gosh, I don't know if you could find this on eBay or whatnot, but I'm sure you could find some fleece vest. And the key is that your arms are free, so that you can actually your arms can breathe. Because if I wear a full fleece undergarment, my arms get really hot and I get extremely uncomfortable, can't vent, and then you're in trouble. You start sweating and the whole bit. And sweat is a really important thing, which brings me to, this is just one of those running shirts, long sleeve, technical fabric. Pulls the sweat away. So when I'm done, even though I run and I'm super sweaty, all of the sweat is sitting in the outside of this, or really actually it's sitting in this shell. So, I mean, soaking wet, you wouldn't believe it. This can go, like I said, this right here, this setup is good for me down to about 5 degrees. If it gets below 5, I might throw on another one of these to provide a little bit of warmth. So that's the top. The bottom, this right here, again, stuff. This is, I think, a starter brand. Find it at Walmart. The key for this, again, it's a windbreaker. This one actually has cotton on the inside, and for some reason, well, the cotton feels warm. It feels good on your skin, and I have not had a problem with the moisture getting too saturated here, because it does work its way to the outside. That, as opposed to something similar, these are probably the most uncomfortable pants I've ever worn running. Sweated like you wouldn't believe, and for some reason the sweat, and this is, instead of having the cotton inside, this has got a little mesh. I absolutely was dripping wet. The other nice thing about these is they have a nice wide bottom. The very bottom here, they have a little bit of plasticky micro something before it goes up into up into it, it's got the cotton. But anyways, so these pants right here, again, good down to 5 degrees. They kind of stay nice and open at the bottom again to vent a bit. So there's your upper, there's your bottom, and then very importantly, a hat. And now, when it gets super cold out, and you're talking the 10 and the 5 degrees, you gotta have every piece of your skin covered. And this does sort of look ridiculous. A ski mask, very few people use them. I use them. It honestly, you put it on and nothing's touching the cold, and you're good to go. You could also use a hat with a scarf. But the other important thing that you need is some eyewear. And I mean, I feel more pain going from the car in a supermarket parking lot into the store than I do running, because when I put on a hat and I use eyewear, so this, you can see this is kind of clear because I'm usually going early in the morning. When you cover your eyes, you feel sort of immune from the elements. This is a kid's goggles, and I find this to be by far the best. You put this on, and there's sort of a eerie silence. It makes me feel almost like an astronaut when you're walking, and you honestly don't feel any of the elements. You know that outside of those goggles is this harsh cold, but there you are sitting, looking with, feeling no pain. And then lastly, a little bit of protective gear is always recommended if you're out walking, crossing streets and whatnot. So there's my gear. That's it. Honestly, there is no excuse for outdoor pain if you're dressing appropriately.